So while I know you may see what appears to be my name on the list, I'd like to argue that I did not have sexual relations with those children on that island. Would it even count, though? It wasn't in the United States. Also, if you add up their ages, I'm sure it was above 18. Jeff told me since it was outside of the
Bill,
jurisdiction.
what the hell are you doing?
No, Hillary, I'm not confessing.
You idiot. Do I always have to clean up your mess?
What are you doing? What? No, wait.
Yo, what's up, guys? Boy, Benny. So we are looking down the barrel of the biggest scandal in American history with the Epstein list dropping. You found a bunch of names on that list that you probably were aware were best friends of Jeffrey Epstein, like Bill Clinton, Alan Dershowitz, Prince Andrew. But what you didn't see was the depravity and the deep connections that all of them had together and what good friends they all were. Such good friends, in fact, that Bill Clinton, according to the documents, marched into one of the biggest media companies in the world and said, "You won't be publishing stories on my dear pederast friend, Jeffrey Epstein." This is the breaking news today, ladies and gentlemen, out of the Daily Mail. Virginia Roberts Giuffre claimed in May of 2011, Giuffre, I'm saying it wrong, Giuffre, May of 2011, that Bill Clinton threatened the staff of Vanity Fair not report on Jeffrey Epstein. Roberts Giuffre said that Clinton walked into the Vanity Fair and threatened them not to write a sex trafficking article about his good friend Jeffrey Epstein. There's no record of Clinton marching into the Vanity Fair office, but the magazine then editor Graydon Carter said he regrets some of their reporting. Why would you regret some of their reporting? Let's figure that out. A spokesman for Vanity Fair, then editor Graydon Carter, told the Telegraph this is categorically did not happen. Very interesting. Okay, so it's a back and forth between one of the Epstein accusers. This is now a trend. One of the Epstein accusers is saying something really bad happened, and then the powerful people that wish to protect themselves, who are still alive, are saying, no, that didn't happen that way. Well, I'll let you decide who you believe. Epstein himself did, however, allegedly prevent Vanity Fair from publishing reporting by journalist Vicky Ward, who had interviewed sisters Maria and Annie Farmer about their abuses by the pedophile financier. Ward said in 2022 podcast that Epstein threatened her, telling her, "I have reports here about you, your husband. I have everything under the sun that was sent to me by people who want to be helpful." Vanity Fair said that the claims of sexual abuse were not included in the 2003 published article because they were added late and did not meet legal standards. Yeah, right. No, okay. Roberts Giuffre's correspondence then published on Thursday as part of the tranche of documents that from her 2015 defamation case against Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's right-hand woman. Maxwell serving 20 years in prison sentence. Epstein died by suicide. Yeah, right. Thursday's released document is a second tranche of files unsealed by the Manhattan court, and here's what they say. They say that Bill Clinton marched into the office to defend his good friend Jeffrey Epstein. Here we go. Breaking. Bill Clinton reportedly walked into the Vanity Fair and threatened them to not write sex trafficking articles about his good friend Jeffrey Epstein, according to this email. Okay, so here we go. Here's what the email says, and this is from the victim here, Virginia. It must be carefully written and not given any notions of the upcoming book or any news. When I was doing some research into Vanity Fair yesterday, it does concern me that they could write about me, considering that Bill Clinton walked into the Vanity Fair and threatened them not to write sex trafficking articles about his good friend Jeffrey Epstein, J.E. Should I be asking what this story is writing is pertaining to? Okay, so this is her emailing with another reporter. The big gamble would be to let him also give the statement saying your interviews is accurately reported at this time that you were sex trafficked by some of the world's most powerful men, which is precisely, of course, what happened. Holy S, new documents dump reveals that Bill Clinton stormed into the Vanity Fair office and threatened not to expose his good friend Jeffrey Epstein. 24 hours ago, Vanity Fair wrote an article downplaying the Epstein files. Well, what do you know? Trump supporters are very upset about the Jeffrey Epstein list. What did we find out in this Jeffrey Epstein list? That Bill Clinton liked them young, according to Jeffrey Epstein himself. One of the many, many things, along with some of the accusers saying that Bill Clinton went to Jeffrey Epstein's private island and had dinner with minors. She doesn't know what happened after that, but had dinner with two young women that she said was under the age of 17. Those are what's in the documents. So I'm just reporting out what's in the documents. More on Bill Clinton and his threats to publisher to contact Epstein and thus himself. Bill Clinton walked into Vanity Fair and threatened them to not publish their articles about his good friend Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein's method of operation is well known at this point, but it's important to see that these are the words of the victims. One victim brought other high school girls to Epstein. Epstein wanted so she could live with him. These are the kind of people that Bill Clinton hung around with. Okay? So they were threatening the media. Now, what does this sound like? What does it sound like? Threatening the media. Yeah, look at all this. Just this despicable stuff. I've heard this before, though. Like, my ears are ringing. So now the reporting is out that, like, the Vanity Fair is saying, no, that didn't happen. Even though Vanity Fair published an article on Jeffrey Epstein and left out all of the sex crimes. Left all that out. They did a big expose on Jeffrey Epstein, and they actually did leave it out. So this guy, who himself looks like an classic body habitus for an Epstein client here, said that it didn't happen. That Bill Clinton didn't walk into Vanity Fair and threaten them. This guy's name is Graydon Carter. He denied that Bill Clinton, who's Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, did this. But what is interesting is that in this article that they wrote about Jeffrey Epstein, they left out all of the sex allegations, even though in 2011, Jeffrey Epstein was already a convicted pederast, a convicted sex abuser. He'd already been found guilty. So they were able to leave that out. They were able to get that out of the article. The weaponization of the Clintons and the weaponization of powerful people stopping the corporate press from reporting on their sex crimes. Where have I heard that before? Oh, thanks, James O'Keefe.
The story for 3 years. I've had this interview with Virginia Roberts. We would not put it on the air. First of all, I was told, who's Jeffrey Epstein? No one knows who that is. This is a stupid story. Then the palace found out that we had her whole allegations about Prince Andrew and threatened us a million different ways. We were so afraid we wouldn't be able to interview Kate and Will that also quashed the story. And then Alan Dershowitz was also implicated in it because of the planes. She told me everything. She had pictures. She had everything. She was in hiding for 12 years. We convinced her to come out. We convinced her to talk to us. It was unbelievable what we had. Clinton. We had everything. I tried for 3 years to get it on, to no avail, and now it's all coming out, and it's like these new revelations, and I freaking had all of it. I'm so pissed right now. Like, every day I get more and more pissed because I'm just like, oh my God, what we had was unreal. Other women backing it up. Hey, yep. Brad Edwards, the attorney, 3 years ago, saying there will come a day when we will realize Jeffrey Epstein was the most prolific pedophile this country has ever known. I had it all 3 years ago.
So who stopped her? Who stopped this report from coming out? Ladies and gentlemen, the answer is the Clintons. Now, how do I know this? Do I know this because I have the direct evidence? I have the emails? No. I know this because I know so many people in media. I've worked in television media. I know all of the people involved. And I know a number of people who were Democrats in the same circles as the Clintons. And one of the most important things that the Clintons do is they weaponize deep media connections against people, saying that we will attack or destroy you because we control these various networks. Ladies and gentlemen, the man who was in charge of ABC at the time went on to produce the January 6th hearings. In case you're wondering exactly where this is all coming from and exactly how rotted these networks are, well, there you go. They protected Bill Clinton. And what were they protecting? Here, let's go ahead and look here. Virginia Giuffre, asking the FBI, I am a victim of the investigation into Jeffrey Epstein, and I was wondering if you could tell me where I could get a hold of any of the pics and videos the FBI might have confiscated from any of Epstein's residences. Can I also ask for any flight logs? No response. FBI protecting Jeffrey Epstein. The victim is not allowed to see the evidence for her own trial from the FBI. Who's giving those orders? Answer that question, and you'll find the answer to exactly who decided Jeffrey Epstein was too inconvenient to have alive anymore. Epstein's purposes in lending Jane Doe, along with other young girls, to such powerful people was to ingratiate himself for them for business, personal, political, financial gain, as well as to obtain potential blackmail information. Well, there's your smoking gun right there. There it is. Boom. Potential blackmail information. There's the entire operation itself laid bare. One such powerful person, Epstein forced Jane Doe, one of his abuse victims, to have sexual relations with a member of the British royal family, Prince Andrew, aka the Duke of York. She was forced to have sexual relations with him in 3 separate geographical locations, in London, New York, and on the private island, in an orgy with other numerous underage girls. Prince Andrew will never be able to show his face again in public. Epstein also trafficked Jane Doe 3 for sexual purposes for many other powerful men, including numerous prominent American politicians, powerful business executives, foreign presidents, and well-known prime minister. A well-known prime minister, which would be the prime minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, and other world leaders. Well, would you look at that? So that's how the operation worked. And these are the people that they are protecting. This is the people that they're protecting when they kill these stories. When Vanity Fair and ABC News refuses to let these stories get published, they are protecting the most sick and evil monsters on planet Earth.
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
There's one guy who warned us. There's one guy who warned us for years about what was about to happen. This was a clip from 2015. That's 10 years ago. Donald Trump warning us what was about to happen. As President Trump warned us what was about to happen.
I was not a fan of Jeffrey Epstein, and you watched people yesterday saying that I threw him out of a club. I didn't want anything to do with him. That was many, many years ago. It shows you one thing, that I have good taste, okay? Now, other people, they went all over with him. They went to his island. They went all over the place. He was very well known in Palm Beach. His island, whatever his island was, wherever it is, I was never there. Find out the people that went to the island. But Jeffrey Epstein was not somebody that I respected. I threw him out. In fact, I think the great James Patterson, who's a member of Mar-a-Lago, made a statement yesterday that many years ago I threw him out.
Yes, Donald Trump actually was the only person inside of the elite circles in America that said, I'll have nothing to do with Jeffrey Epstein. Meanwhile, like moths to a flame, Bill Clinton, Bill Gates, senators, congressmen, bankers, the director of the CIA, currently, right now, William Burns, taking meetings with Epstein after his conviction as a pederast and a sex predator, after the conviction, of which he skated on. So ask yourself those questions. Who are the real, why were they taking those meetings? And what did Jeffrey Epstein actually represent? What Jeffrey Epstein actually represented is, ladies and gentlemen, found right here in this document, right here in this note from the actual filings. Blackmail information on the most powerful people on earth. Jeffrey Epstein was an op. Jeffrey Epstein was used as an op in order to create leverage on the most powerful people on earth. And that is why they go after Donald Trump. I mean, it's amazing the crystal clear picture that's being formed here. They're going after Donald Trump because he's the one guy that didn't take the bait. He's the one guy that wasn't part of their club together. He's the one guy that didn't do all these horrible acts as like a purpose, as a I'm part of your club thing. Trump said no. Trump kicked out Jeffrey Epstein. And that's why they go after Trump. Pretty obvious and pretty clear. Trump said no. And Trump actually assisted in the arrest of Jeffrey Epstein while the rest of them worked to protect him and then continued to work to protect them. Whether you believe the Bill Clinton story or not, one side says one thing, one side says the other. You know what? I'm going to believe the victims in this case, ladies and gentlemen. Not gonna believe Bill Clinton, actually. I'm going to make the decision to not believe Bill Clinton on this one. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. Stay based, and let's lock them up.